All right, Chapter 8, Lesson 6, Comparing Fractions. Says the least common denominator, the LCD, is the least common multiple of the denominators of the fractions. You can use the least common denominator to compare fractions. So, I know, that's a lot to digest. So let's just see what they're talking about. Example number 1. Trevor made 2 out of 3 goals, and Tyler made 5 out of 6 goals. Who made the greater fraction of goals? So Trevor made 2 out of 3, and Tyler made 5 out of 6. So those are the fractions that we built that we're going to need to use. So, step 1, find the least common multiple of the denominators, 3 and 6. So they've listed 3 and they've listed 6 here. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, and so on. Let's do the same with 6. 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24. Okay, do we have a least common multiple? We do. We have 12, right? But there's a number that's smaller, isn't there? We also have 6. So, the least common multiple, the smallest common multiple of 3 and 6 is 6. So we're going to find equivalent fractions with a denominator of 6. So build your fraction, use boxes, and put 6 in the denominator. Now, they told us what we were going to do, and so I covered it up, okay? Because I want to be able to talk you guys through this. So, 3 times what gets us this 6 in this denominator? And hopefully you said 2. And remember, whatever we multiply one portion of the fraction with, we have to use it again to multiply the other portion of the fraction. So we're using 2 to multiply to get the denominator. We also have to use 2 to get the numerator. So 3 times 2 is 6. And of course we have to do, well, let me finish this one. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, now, so 2/3 is the same as 4/6. Now over here, okay, we still have the same denominator. 6 times what gets me 6? And hopefully, you guys said 1, which means we are going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 1. 6 times 1 is 6. 5 times 1 is 5. So we are now going to compare 4/6 and 5/6. Okay? So, since our denominators are the same, we can compare the 4 and the 5 as if they were just whole numbers. Okay? And clearly we know that 4 is less than 5. 4 is less than 5. So we know that 2/3 is less than 5/6. Okay? So, who made the greater fraction of goals? Tyler did, because 5/6, remember, Tyler made 5 out of 6. So, Tyler made the greater fraction of goals. Okay? And then they showed you that 2/3 is the same as 5 out of 6. Okay, they broke the same fraction bar up into thirds, and then again they portioned it into 6 segments so that you can see that those two fractions are equivalent. Let me slide that up there so you can see that those two fractions are equivalent. 2/6 is the same as 1/3, so 4/6 is the same as 2/3. Okay, so let's turn our paper over and let's do one more example before I release you to work on your own. So we're going to compare 3/5 and 1/2, and we're going to use the least common denominator. So first of all, we have to find the least common multiple of the denominators. So we have a 5 and we have a 2. So 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 15, 20, we're skip counting, right, by 5s. So with 2, we're going to skip count by 2s. 2 times 1 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on and so forth. Do we have a least common multiple of these denominators? Yeah, we do. We have a 10 here and a 10 here. So let's circle those. And let's put it out here on the line. So this is going to become our new denominator. We're going to find equivalent fractions with a denominator of 10. So let's plug in our denominators. And you can tell I put a post-it over, okay, so that it will require you guys to think just a little bit. So 5 times what gets me to 10? And hopefully you guys all said 2. And remember the rule. Okay, whatever we do to one portion of the fraction, we have to do to the other, which means we're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the number 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, over here, okay, we still have our denominator 10. 2 times what gets me 10? Yep, you're right. I'm certain you guys said 5. 2 times 5 is 10, which means we now multiply the numerator by 5 as well. 1 times 5 is 5. So now we have two fractions, 6/10 and 5/10. And remember, when the denominators are the same, we can look at this like it's just a regular old whole number. And which number is greater? 6 is greater than 5. Okay, 6 is greater than 5. So that means that 3/5, remember, because 6/10 was equivalent to 3/5, 6/10 is greater than 1/2. And the model shows that right here. Same size fraction bar, split in a half. And then this fraction bar is split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments. Okay, so we have 3 out of 5 segments. So this one, 3/5, is larger. Okay?